Joshua Lai versus Dennis Chan, Taka Red versus just straight abs and aggro. Over in our other area, we've got Ben Johnson versus Tyler Visse, where we've basically got a 7 card mirror.
So you should be.
Our judge is being a bit of a dictator. He insists on taking a photo of them. We're just waiting for players to choose hands and resolve mulligans.
So it looks like both players are going to cards. Who can sort of get out quickly?
Yep. On the Ataka Red side, we've got a Zergo, a Dragon Fodder, a Hordeling Outburst, Forest, Bloodstained Mire, and 2 Wooded Foothills. On Dennis's side, we have Forest Plains, Flooded Strand, Windswept Heath, Warden of the First Tree, Dromoka's Command, and Gideon. So good starts.
Yeah, quite good starts. The early Warden, if it stays around on the board, so if Joshua doesn't manage to hit the Fire Impulse or a Blind Slash in the first couple of draws here,
the Warden
will be able to use that Dromoka's Command to clear out one of these early creatures.
Yeah, Josh almost has like a very just creature-heavy build. Creature-heavy draw. Looking at like the Zergos and the 2 token makers, but nothing really no Ataka's commands, just lots of creatures.
Yeah, that's it. He's just looking to go wide, and that's it. He's really praying to find an Ataka's command or a Bushwhacker on top of his deck to punch in for really huge damage. Just fetching to thin out the library as well.
Yep. Josh has a very awkward draw of having the Forest in hand.
But that does mean that he can just sort of freely go for mountains on these fetch lands without having to worry about considering green matter for an Ataka's command that he might draw. Yep, just casting the Hordeling, the Dragon Fodder.
Dragon Fodder? Yep. Presumably we'll see the Hordeling Outburst next turn.
Yeah, I imagine so. There's not too much you could draw in this deck to cast instead.
Yep, so Dennis is on chump duty. Or sorry, blocking duty.
So I definitely think that Joshua should play a Greenland, or at least a potential Greenland, on this turn to represent the Ataka's command. Just so that the Zergo... Okay, so he's going to fetch straight away. Yep, getting the Cinderglade.
I mean, the alternative / worst playline is just pre-combat Hordeling Outburst plus a turn. But I suppose it's a red deck.
Yeah, no, he needs to be attacking here. You just need to be representing the Ataka's command, I think, to make it less likely that he blocks your Zergo, and more likely he just goes for the relatively free block of the Goblin to get in that extra point of damage here. Okay, so he just goes for the Hordeling Outburst.
So I've seen Josh play. He's not really big on the bluffing.
He
just likes to get it out there.
To play his cards. And decides not to attack.
Yeah. I think you need to push in that damage even if you are sacrificing a bit of your board, getting greedy and just being like, I'm going to hold out for the Ataka's command and just one shot you.
I think there you have to represent the Ataka's command and just get through the damage. You trade a Goblin for a couple of points of damage, which is realistically how much a Goblin is ever going to do. So I don't think that sitting back and thinking he doesn't block.
Notably, Dennis also has a Dromoka's command in hand.
He does, which is another reason that I think you want to be swinging, because your later Ataka's commands get worse against Dromoka's command.
If he goes in response, prevent fight, or anything like that.
That's it. It's such a huge blowout if he prevents the damage to the face and then fights one of your guys, so you're down one of your creatures. It's so brutal. He has separated his lands into 2 Ataka's commands here, which is...
Or 2 more Dragon Fodders.
Pretty perfect. just
So he decides to ship in this turn.
yeah, which now that Dennis hasn't played another creature on his third turn,
Yep.
you are trading, potentially one thing that gets blocked for a lot more damage.
But I can almost never see Dennis tapping out for, say, like an Anafenza, where...
It really just depends sort of on his hand. I mean, if he didn't have the Dromoka's Command and he did have the Anafenza, I think he just has to. But in this particular spot,
But does he have the Dromoka's Command? Sorry, the Tarkus Command.
yeah, that's the interesting thing. Dennis has made the block on the Goblin token rather than on Zergo to play around the single the single Atarka's Command.
Yeah.
But no Atarka's Command coming through there, so... Just
Another
seeing
dragon fodder.
Dragon fodder, yep.
Jeez.
It's sort of interesting there whether you hold back that dragon fodder, depending on what the rest of his hand is, whether you're looking to... because I believe this deck has bushwhackers in it, so whether you want to hold the dragon fodder as a bit of a sort of combo thing, but...
You could also just go Atarkus Command into Bushwhacker.
Yeah, sure.
You've got it all.
It just depends if he had anything else to cast. If he's literally choosing between casting nothing and casting Dragon Fodder, obviously you want to cast the Dragon Fodder.
So I think this is still mid... No, it's post-combat, end of turn.
Yeah, I think end of turn, fighting here. It's okay. Lets you use your mana, which you're otherwise not going to get to use.
And we've seen how strong Warden really is here. It's blocked a token. It's fought the Zergo. It's still alive.
Yeah, the issue for Dennis was really that his only other play was Abzan Charm. He can't remove any of the creatures for Josh.
Yeah.
They're too small, and then drawing cards and losing life is really, really risky at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Because it put him down to 9, which is...
So next turn we want to be seeing like a Rhino?
Yeah, Rhino seems fine. I could see the Gideon just coming out, just making
it to 9, yeah.
And then just... Because at this point, Dennis knows that Joshua probably doesn't have an Atarka's Command. I think he would have fired it off.
Yep.
Last
What it would have
turn
been like 14 points of damage.
to just try
And even just get rid of the Warden.
But so yeah, incrementally being able to just make knights that can block profitably the goblins is pretty good here. So yeah, we just see Gideon come down, make a knight, and pass the turn. So Joshua draws. This is where it gets a little bit awkward for Joshua, whether he decides to start just pushing through damage, sacrificing all his creatures. He's found a Swift Spear.
Yeah, I mean he's got one card in hand.
Yeah, I think he's got one card in hand now that he's played a land and played the Swift Spear. If the issue is, I'm not particularly sure how likely you are to win this game if you don't just start crunching in for damage this turn.
Are you attacking Dennis or Gideon?
Dennis. Gideon is going to keep making knights, but...
Okay, he's attacking Gideon, I believe. Like he's swinging some tokens at Gideon.
Okay, so I guess from the gestures, I'm getting that the goblins are all going at Gideon, and Swifty is going at face. So
It's possible he might have like Titan Strength Commandments.
yeah, he has. He only
Oh,
has
he's
one
in one card. Sorry.
But he could have. Yeah, I think if he had any of the sort of large-scale pump spells, you'd really just be swinging face, just hoping to get something through.
Well, you'd definitely get you'd get your team through.
Yeah.
That is true though.
Whereas now, I mean, it could be a pretty sick mind game, I guess, to swing a bunch of stuff at Gideon and then hope that Dennis just lets the Swift Spear through on your face with the Commandments or something like that. But
It's a beautiful block.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're pretty certain from Dennis's position that the Swiss Spear isn't getting prowessed there.
Yeah.
But and I like blocking a goblin there with the warden,
Yeah.
just to eat the number of guys that he has. I do see a wingmate rock there, which I think if he has the land, we're just going to see the attack and a wingmate rock, I imagine. Yeah, warden just crunches in.
We see the wingmate rock.
And make 2 3/4s, which have the ability to gain life. So,
Yeah. With 2 cards in hand, can Joshua win this game? Or were you thinking it needs to be specifically something like
well, now that he's played a land,
Yeah.
it's looking pretty
left?
unlikely.
He's just past the turn.
Yep. Yeah, I imagine that is going to be basically this game over.
That being
because
said, Dennis has only got an Abzan Charm in hand.
he doesn't have much more, but he
Yeah.
can use his mana to level up the warden,
Yep.
get lifelink on that,
Yep.
gain some life off of attacking with the wingmate rock, and I think he just puts himself out of reach.
Yeah.
Sorry. Interesting to see how many creatures he wants to attack with, though.
Do you just get in with the birds, or do you get in with the warden as well?
I think it depends on whether you want to sort of sorcery speed straight away, lifelink your warden, or whether you want to sit it back on blocks.
Yep. I mean, Joshua's played his 6th land, his 7th land, and he's got
Because-
1 card in hand.
Yeah, because the sort of Skullcrack effect is Atarka's command in the format. Chances are, very, very, very likely that he doesn't have an Atarka's command here. So
Yeah.
you can basically guarantee that you're going to gain life by
So-
attacking with the warden.
He's attacked with everything, which I think is very fair. I don't know if I would necessarily get in with the 2/2, but at the same time, if you're going to do it, just he's gained 4 life. He's on 15.
Yeah, this is. He also played a Shambling Vent, which in the future turns is going to do good work too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting in there for a lot of damage as well, so it is starting to threaten Josh dying to just the flyers, sort of putting him on a very good clock. And because he is on such a healthy life total, anything less than one of the really big payoff cards is just.
Has
not gonna
Joshua
be
just
good.
declared no blocks?
It's possible.
Because that's a lethal attack with the Abzan Charm.
With Abzan Charm? Yep, there it is. It's,
So either Josh has. Yep, there we go.
yep.
Game
With
2.
the Abzan Charm, it's
Well, it
pretty
does-
good.
Yep.
Apparently you don't really need to gain life when you kill your opponent. Is definitely weakened substantially when they have removal for your outpost siege.
Yeah.
It's just whether they have to spend it earlier in the game.
So Josh has brought in the roasts that we know of. His opener is 2 mountains, a wooded foothills, Abbot, Atarka's command, Titan Strength, and Roast. We haven't seen much of Abbot thus far, so we'll see what work he does this game.
So that's an interesting hand. It's a little bit slower than I think you would generally like to see. You really do want to see the 1-drop. But it does have some of the more powerful cards
Yeah.
in the red deck.
So Dennis has kept a very solid hand. Unfortunately, he does only have 2 lands in it. So he's got Windswept Heath and Plains, but he's got Duress, Siege Rhino, Den Protector, Murderous Cut, and Warden.
Okay, so largely banking on the strength of an early Warden.
Yeah, with a
and then,
potential Duras.
yeah, just drawing into. Okay, so Josh just going for the turn to
Roast. Yeah.
roast on the Warden straight away.
So he has drawn a Canopy Vista. Unfortunately, Windswept Heath still does not get black mana.
No, see, that's, I think, going to be one of the deciding factors in this game is whether Dennis can draw that black mana in the next couple of turns.
Yep.
He seems to be thinking about a face-up Den Protector. I don't think you're really in that spot just yet, just because Josh hasn't played any threats, so you're really not under the pressure.
So Josh has got a turn 3 play. It's most likely drawn like a Hortling Outburst. Otherwise, you could just play the Abbot here. No, so he does have the Hortling Outburst.
That's fair enough. If he's brought the roasts in, then his curve is probably slightly higher, so waiting until turn 4 for the Abbot is reasonable if you have the 3-drop to cover there.
So there aren't many good blocks for Dennis with the Ataka's command out.
Yeah, that's...
So either he's taking 9 or he's losing his Den Protector.
Okay, so casting Abbot, exiling, Hortling Outburst, that's a little unfortunate, but... Okay, so no land drop, and then attack. So this is sort of inducing the block, I think. And then getting to use the Titan Strength to kill the Den Protector.
Yep.
Or you can Titan Strength for damage, I guess.
I think you want to be killing the Den Protector.
I think it's kind of close.
Yeah,
here.
sure, I can see it.
Just because it's a lot of damage.
I think
to get
if
through.
you know Dennis's hand, you probably want to be killing that Den Protector. Because it's bringing back the Warden, which is...
Yeah, kind of one of his few plays, unfortunately, at the moment, yeah.
I mean, if Dennis gets a wooded foothills or a swamp or kind of like any black land, he's just slamming a Rhino saying go, and he's just, he's back in it.
Yeah, definitely.
So Dennis gains some life. It's got a Sylvan Advocate and a whole bunch of black spells.
Yeah, so just going to see Sylvan Advocate come down here, and I imagine just pass the turn.
Yep. Sylvan Advocate's pretty good here.
Yeah, it's quite good in general against the red deck, just being a 2/3. Okay, so it gets roasted.
I think a Dromoka's command there would have been nice.
Yeah, Dromoka's command would have been very nice there. Unfortunately, no such luck. Still not a fourth land for Joshua though, so he can't get the sort of really ultimate blowout of
Ataka's command.
doing the Ataka's command now.
Which, that'll be 12 damage coming across.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see whether Josh Titan Strengths for damage or for... Oh, okay, so he's blocking the Abbot here.
Yeah, seems fair. It does mean that Titan Strength it does mean that Titan Strength is going to be sort of...
I think
so
everyone needs to check out this new Facebook update with the basketball shooting. I've realized you can do it in group chat, and my My testing team is going crazy. Just shooting the hoops on the iPhones.
Okay, so we have Titan Strength on an unblocked goblin, pumping the abbot with prowess, so that Den Protect would have died, so it's been flipped up, get back the warden.
Putting my phone away now. It's quite addictive.
Scry's at the bottom
Yep.
off of the Titan Strength Scry. Damage, so...
The
a lot of
Abbott's still up.
damage.
Yep. Alright. Black Source off the top, give us a game.
That is the thing, yeah. He needs to draw the black source this turn. He
There
got
we
it.
go. There we go.
Is it enough though?
Depends if Josh hits that for that fourth land drop.
Yeah, I think the fourth land drop is pretty big, as well as.
I think if he can go another turn without hitting that land drop, then we've got a game. Abzan is really good at gaining life that way.
Yeah, that's true. And it just puts into play a lot of very large blockers.
Yeah. I mean, even if this turn he just throws the warden away, blocking something.
I think it probably would. Although it is a pretty good continual source of life gain as you go later into
Yep.
the game. And you will be at 11 after Siege Rhino, so I think there's
Sure.
arguments in both ways. I think, for example, if Josh were untapped and roasted the Rhino, you're definitely just throwing
Yeah.
the warden.
Yeah.
Although,
I guess if he's roasting it and he doesn't play the fourth land,
yeah, then you
then
just take it.
you take the 3. Because not even a Becomment gets you there
Yeah.
once you've gained that life.
Interestingly, playing the warden, we possibly seeing warden level up Murderous Cut.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
If Josh makes that fourth land drop, Dennis will be rewarded.
Yeah, this will be an interesting turn here. Actually, I think. Really going to sort of decide the game. Okay, attacks.
Dennis can't block quickly enough.
Yep. Warden is definitely blocking. Presumably with the plan to pump it
Yeah.
before damage. Not quite sure who has priority now. I'm assuming that it's probably Josh, just considering the Atarka's command. Yep, so Atarka's command.
Assumably deal.
Deal 3
3.
+1/+1.
If Josh has like a fiery impulse here as well,
Yes. I think if he does have the fire impulse, then it's.
I think Dennis doesn't really have a choice but to try and level up with.
Some amount of discussion going on just now, it seems.
If he does it on the stack, I don't think. Oh no, yeah, he does. Just trying to see if Josh has spell mastery while Atarka's command is on the stack.
Not while it's on the stack.
Yeah.
It has to be in the graveyard. He's played multiple roasts though, so he.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was just, yeah, he does have the spell mastery regardless of that command.
So
I believe there is a discussion of priority here.
yeah, it seems like that. It looks like Dennis sort of went to tap mana to level up, but then didn't. So sort of a bit of an awkward sequence there because that Joshua tapping the last of his mana let Dennis freely level up without any concern of getting fiery impulsed, and then Murderous cut the Titan Strength. The goblin was targeted by Titan Strength, so after all is said and done, Dennis falls to 3 life.
That's an unoffensive and a duress.
So the question is, do you play the Siege Rhino and gain life,
I think you have to gain some life.
Do you duress and level up your Warden and attack to gain life?
Unfortunately, you do need to make that choice before you see his hand. So whether you like what you see or not, I think he's going with the duress.
It does.
I like the way that he's played this. Oh.
Okay, so we see Dragon Fodder
Yep.
and Atarka's Command, so Dennis takes the Atarka's Command straight away.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if he does attack or whether he is going to try and leave the Warden on blocking, but that does mean that a top deck Atarka's Command would kill him. Yep, so he just goes with the attack, just making sure he gains the 3 life. Passes the turn.
It has to be exactly Atarka's Command for this to be lethal. It can't even be like a bushwhacker.
Yeah, so cast the Dragon Fodder.
Yep.
And
Attacks for
gets
1.
in for 1. This is going to be really tight here.
Yep. Both players have to play very well. That's a Gideon.
Gideon with a Murderous Cut in hand. Now that is
better.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that probably locks it.
Yeah.
Yeah, send in the Warden.
Go to 9. Sorry, 8.
Yeah, go to 8 life. Cast a Gideon, make a knight, and then pass the turn and feel pretty good about life, I think.
Yep. That second Murderous Cut.
So you've got 2 unknowns in hand for Joshua, and it has to be, what is it? It's like exactly Wild Slash. No, not even Wild Slash Darkness Command gets there, I don't think. Another Dragon Fodder, sure. And Hardcast Zergo.
Yeah, this is not exactly what you want to be. Is he thinking of attacking Gideon, maybe?
I don't know that it does a lot. Yeah, it looks like end step, just kill your Zergo, untap.
It's another Warden in hand.
Yep, sure. Seems like a... Okay, so attack with the Warden. It's interesting, so he goes after that he would go to 11. It's whether blocking to prevent future life gain is more valuable than having creatures in play for an Atarka's Command or a Bushwhacker that you drew. Bushwhacker obviously needing multiple draw steps to set up, which is making it pretty unlikely that it's very good by that point.
I definitely don't think you're chump blocking. I think you're either throwing 3 creatures or 4 creatures at it.
The warden has trample on its second level up,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't have the option to.
So
just
he
throw
just
one
takes
warden.
it. Yeah.
Yep. So make a knight with Gideon. It's my warden.
Siege Rhino.
Yep.
And Siege Rhino does what it does. So 14 plays 7.
And now Dennis.
Abbott reroll into Monastery Swift Spear. He has blockers for days, but I don't think that's a positive thing.
Yeah. So Dennis now up to 4 blockers.
If he draws another land, he can also just pump the other warden twice. I think
If he draws another land, he can also put 5 counters on the first
Yeah.
warden and just turn it into an absolute monster. 8/8, which just crunches through, eats all of the creatures to die, and is presenting lethal, so it has to be blocked. It's presumably very lethal if he has the land, because the other creatures swing in as well. Gideon turns into a creature and gets in there and starts punching people in the face as well. Also, pretty lethal if he draws the second Siege Rhino, which, as we know, is the most common occurrence when playing Siege Rhinos.
play a Siege Rhino. It's okay, you'll draw like 15 more. I think his hand might actually be just another warden and an offensive.
Yeah. But see, that sounds like it should be a little bit awkward, but I don't think it
Nope.
really is, because you just play another warden, and then you can level up both wardens, and then, yeah. It's not really going.
I don't think
poorly.
Josh is getting away from this.
No, I think he's sort of past the point where he can hope to draw sort of the perfect card off the top to punch through the final damage.
How different would this game have been if he'd made his 4th land drop, say, 3 or 4 turns ago?
Oh, it would have been very different, because he had the 2 attackers commands in hand, and there's been situations where he was attacking with a couple of guys where if he had double attackers command on that turn, he would have just killed Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis was down to 3 life at one point
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this game. He's back up to 14 now, but yeah. If he was able to double attackers command, it wouldn't have been particularly close, I don't think.
If you were Joshua, what would you be doing right now?
I think I would be scooping up my cards, because I don't, like, with deck lists being known, I don't have really any kind of out here. The Abzan deck's cards are just too much more powerful.
So he can stay alive this turn?
He just doesn't really have any hope on staying alive.
It is game 2 and it is, a single elimination.
I just don't think I'm gaining any information here anymore, because I have his deck list, and I'm not realistically getting to make sort of attacks where I have to put my opponent in a spot where they have to make a difficult decision, so I'm not learning about their
Like, Joshua's
tendencies or
on
anything.
2, Dennis is on 17.
Yeah. And Carsten and Offenza make a knight, and then we have mana to level up the warden. Probably just level up now.
Or just play another one. I think it'd be funny if this was the 4th land, though. Oh, he's trying.
Roast your Siege Rhino. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't think holding up the mana to represent the Dramoka's command or something like that is really doing anything. I think you just level up so that there's no possible way you can get like wild slashed or something like that. Not that it really matters, but
So, he has to block everything.
yeah, and the warden can gain trample, so he has to put at least 3 things.
I believe he is dead.
Yeah, he is very, very dead. just waiting.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And we'll go to
we have a
game
result.
3.
No, Dennis is 2-0.
Oh, that was 2-0.
Yeah.
There you go. Red deck wins losing game 1.